Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. So we're just jumping right into the haul. These are from shop Agalore, and as you can see by the title, these are $5 acrylics. I'll show you the little receipt that I got. There it is. Everything was for $5. So let's get into it. They have sales regularly where they'll have it for $5 or a little bit higher, but their sales are pretty good. So we're gonna try out these acrylics, and they have got me feeling inspired to create more sets. Such beautiful spring colors. But I do have a few things to say about these, so let's get into it. Okay, gorgeous colors. The pigment is there 100%. But do you see how the acrylic, when you pick it up, it's a drier bead and it doesn't form into that wet pearl of acrylic? I'm gonna show you in the next swatch that I do. It's buttery, yes, but there's a momentum to it. Like there's something specific that you have to do, I believe, to get that acrylic going. So right here, do you see how dry the pink one is and how wet the nude one is? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying it's a drier bead and it's not that wet pearl of acrylic. So once you put the acrylic bead down on the nail, you want to wet your brush into the monomer and just lightly tap on the acrylic so it moistens it, and that way you can begin to mold in the acrylic. So when you pick up the bead, it's dry, you place it on the nail, then you start to play around with it with extra monomer in your brush, and then it will start to level into itself. I would suggest waiting when you put the acrylic on the nail and you tap it with the monomer. Wait a little, let it dry down, and then you'll get the best type, what would I say, it will mold better to the nail. Okay, so I was trying to play around with it to see how I could do it, and I found that the best. So these colors are so gorgeous, so pigmented, it's crazy. And the set that I came up with, I love it so much. And I'm gonna show you the nail tips, and I have a few things to say about that, the nail tips, but let's wait on it. So this green, it reminds me of a forest green. It's gorgeous. I'll definitely be using it. The jars, they come, well, they always come filled to the top. So I don't want to say the acrylic is runny. It will be runny if you rush into it. Once you put it on the nail and you put the monomer on, I just suggest waiting a bit for it to dry down, and then you can mold it, because if you go in right away, it might be too wet, and it just slides right off the nail. So that's my only thing. But otherwise from that, if you are a beginner, I would highly recommend it, because it will give you time to work with it before it dries down. So that's perfect for if you're just starting out. So this is the last acrylic. These last two were shimmer acrylics. Love it. And I'm gonna show you what they look like when they're dried, and then we're gonna get into the set. Okay, the nails that I was talking about, the tips. Do you see how I have to they're non-C-curve, so they're straight tips. So I'm saying the tip of the nail, it's wider than the part where you put on the nail. So as you can see right there, that's super wide, and then it gets narrow when you go down. That's what I'm showing you there. So I don't like how the bottom flares out, but as you can see, it's flat enough. It's not really a C-curve. The tips looks really big. But it's a square nail, it's not coffin. I had to cut down the sides a bit, and what I was showing you before, everything else, the 3 fingers, index, middle, and ring finger, they matched up, but the pinky was was shorter than the rest of the nails, so I had to cut everything to match the pinky. So I'm gonna cut the edges down a bit and then file them and get my sanding band, file the nail tips, just so I can have a little more grit when I'm putting the acrylic down, so it doesn't just glide over the smooth nail. And then we'll get into the set. Okay, here we go. Gorgeous. I cannot remember if I got this from Aliexpress or Amazon, or I'm not sure. This bottle I got from Amazon. I love it. I have a big bottle of monomer, so this is just easier for me to use. And yeah, this set, I did not know what I was gonna do as usual, but I wanted to include the orange. So I'm gonna do an ombre here. Do you see how the acrylic breaks up? It's so dry it breaks up, but when I tapped it with the monomer, it starts to self-level, and then I can mold it. This is the perfect bead that I can show you how the acrylic actually works. So you see how I could mold it going down the nail. With this, do not swipe it off, do not drag the product, it will just wipe the acrylic off. So see, it's dried, pat it with some monomer. You can wait a little, or you can play around with the edges and mold it down the nail like that. Okay, so I'm going in with the pink. Do you see how dirty my monomer is with that orange? Yeah, it changed the color a little bit of the other acrylics, but I'll change it soon. So in the cuticle area, I had a lot of flooding because the bead was runny when I placed it in that cuticle area. It wasn't as dry. Well, I don't know what happened, but it was flooding all in my cuticle, all in my sidewall. I had to clean it up. So put it down. I'm working with the I'm working the product down on the nail, but then it's just flooding the sidewalls. But it's okay. I fixed it. I was trying to see the best way to not flood the cuticle, but I haven't found it yet. Every time I put down the cuticle bead, it just starts to flood the, I don't know. Okay, do you see how that broke up? Yep. And then you put the monomer in, and then it just does something. It's like it just wets the bead and cause it to start to self-level. So I'm guessing square nail, well, obviously square nails would be different from tapered square, because tapered square would be more tapered, of course. So I wasn't thinking about that at the time when I bought it. I was like, okay, non-C curve, let me try these. And then when I got it and I saw square, I was like, okay. And when I put them on and saw that flared tip, I'm like, eee, wow, that's crazy. So I think I would much prefer a tapered square, which I don't know if they sell tapered square nail tips, maybe. But yeah, I'm gonna have to keep cutting them. Overall, I do like the nail tips, to be honest. It's just that flared out thing, so I would have to cut the sides down and shape it a little with the file, but that's okay. These shimmer acrylics went on like a dream. I had not too much problems with it. I don't believe it was flooding the cuticle or the sidewalls as much, but let me see. So this is me waving the acrylic around just to dry it down a bit so it doesn't flood the cuticle. And look, it's not flooding, but I'm wiping away the acrylic. I thought it was dried down enough where I could just mold it and take my time and drag it along the sides, but I removed it, so I have to put some more. Then it started to flood into the sidewalls. I don't know what to do to that cuticle area, but I'm gonna keep trying though, because these are some really nice acrylics. So I'm gonna put the flowers all over the nail. I was in love with this nail. Yes, I was. And oh, I'm gonna show you the glow at the end. This is a set. Now I'm gonna put some stuff on the nail. Beautiful. Okay, so this is their top coat, the diamond steel top coat. But first I'm gonna put some nail foil glue on the nail, because of course I'm gonna be using some nail foil to cover this entire nail. Well, not to cover it, but yeah. So I'm putting some of the top coat on. Because I was gonna reuse these gummy bears, I wasn't too concerned of what I used to stick it on, but I'm gonna have to use a thicker glue because, of course, as you saw, it was falling off. Okay, so this is where I was like, okay, let me get a thicker glue to stick this on. Then I cured it for 60 seconds and I'm gonna top coat. And this is pretty much it. I really do hope you enjoyed today's set and today's swatches. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you on my next one. Bye-bye.